ऑपरेटर्स। आज हम स्टडी करेंगे ऑपरेटर्स को। नहीं, ये वाले नहीं। नो नो नो, अरे नहीं रे बाबा, स्टॉप स्टॉप, यही वाले। चलो, ये सी के ऑपरेटर स्टार्ट करने से पहले वीडियो को लाइक कर दो और चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो। Before we begin, I must tell you that these operators are important to learn as they are mostly common in all programming languages. Okay, so what are operators? An operator is a symbol that tells the compiler to perform specific mathematical or logical manipulation on data elements to produce another element. C is rich in built-in operators and provide the following types of them. Unary operators, बाइनरी ऑपरेटर्स जिनमें आते हैं अर्थमेटिक ऑपरेटर्स, रिलेशनल ऑपरेटर्स, लॉजिकल ऑपरेटर्स, बिटवाइज ऑपरेटर्स और असाइनमेंट ऑपरेटर्स, एंड लास्टली टर्नरी और कंडीशनल ऑपरेटर्स। वी विल ट्राई अंडरस्टैंडिंग देम वन बाय वन। सपोज आपकी गर्लफ्रेंड आपको स्टार्स गिनने को कहे।
మనం చూస్తున్న ఈ స్పేస్ లో ఎన్ని స్టార్స్ ఉంటాయి శ్యామ్?
మేబీ 1000 కౌంట్ చేద్దామా? ఓకే, సో నువ్వు అటు నుంచి లెక్క పెట్టు, నేను ఇటు నుంచి కౌంట్ చేస్తాను। ఓకే,
ऐसा तो काउंट नहीं करोगे 1 1 1 1 1 1 और फिर टोटल करते बैठो। You would definitely count like 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. That means you would take first value of 1 and go on incrementing by 1, right? Which means this activity can be expressed as count equal to count plus 1, where count is variable being incremented. Similarly, जहां पर count को decrement करना हो, we can write as count equal to count minus 1. ठीक है? Now, C gives us built-in operators plus plus and minus minus, which work like this. Plus plus count is the same as count equal to count plus 1 and minus minus count is same as count equal to count minus 1. A few important things to keep in mind are, these are called unary operators because they operate on a single operand. These operators can only be used with variables and not with constant values or expressions. These operators work well with both integer type and float type variables. Both of these operators plus plus and minus minus have same precedence, मतलब priority, which we will learn later in this video. These can be put before variable, यानी जैसे plus plus count, which is then called a prefix increment, or can be put after the variable count plus plus, obviously then called a postfix increment. Similarly, minus minus count is called prefix decrement and count minus minus is called postfix decrement. Prefix और postfix में difference क्या है बताती हूँ। Let's take this tiny program. पहले count की value which is 1 will be displayed and then incremented to 2 because increment का sign plus plus variable name के बाद में लगा है। Then in next statement, its value which was now 2 is incremented to 3 and then displayed. So the output will be displayed like this. Clear? तो ये थे unary operators. Now let's come to our next set of 5 basic operators called as arithmetic operators. A few important things to keep in mind are, these are classified under binary operators because they operate with 2 operands. These operands can be variables as well as constant values. These operators work well with both integer type and float type variables. While executing, these operators follow specific defined order of precedence and associativity. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ बाद में देखते हैं इस वीडियो में। अब आप बड़े हो गए हो और लैंग्वेज सीख रहे हो तो इतना तो पता ही होगा कि प्लस माइनस मल्टीप्लिकेशन एंड डिवीजन क्या करते हैं, और आपको याद करवा दूं कि मॉडुलस रिमाइंडर देता है। चलो हम सीधा इस प्रोग्राम में देखते हैं कि क्या क्या कब और कैसे कैलकुलेट होगा। यहाँ पे 2 ऑपरेंड्स हैं यानी इंटीजर वेरिएबल्स जिनको हम इनपुट करवाएंगे, num1 और num2 using scanf function. I would like to remind you to watch my detailed video on scanf and printf functions, ये वाला, whose link you can find in description below. Sum, difference, product, division and modulus are the variables for which expressions are defined using respective arithmetic operators for easy understanding. दोनों ऑपरेंड्स यानी इंटीजर वेरिएबल्स num1 और num2 को इनपुट किया. Let's say num1 को 100 and num2 को 10. The output displayed is this. प्लस ऑपरेटर से मिला 110, माइनस से 90, मल्टीप्लाई से 1000, डिवीजन से 10 और मॉडुलस से 0. सिंपल है ना? ओके, नाउ लेट्स इनपुट num1 as 10 and num2 as 100. देखते हैं क्या रिजल्ट्स आते हैं. प्लस ऑपरेटर ने दिया 110, माइनस से इस बार मिला नेगेटिव 90, मल्टीप्लाई से 1000, डिवीजन से 0 because it gives only the integer part of the division result of 0.1 और मॉडुलस से 10 इसलिए क्योंकि रिमाइंडर 10 है. चलो एक और केस लेते हैं where both num1 and num2 are large numbers, जैसे नंबर ऑफ स्टार्स जो आपकी गर्लफ्रेंड ने काउंट करने के लिए बोला था. रिमेंबर या प्रोग्रामिंग में भूल गए? तो लेट्स टेक सम लार्ज नंबर्स फॉर num1 and num2 एंड चेक द रिजल्ट्स. आप नोट करेंगे कि रिजल्ट्स कुछ अजीबोगरीब से आ रहे हैं. याद है आपको मैंने इंटीजर रेंज के बारे में डिटेल से बताया था अपनी डेटा टाइप्स पार्ट 1 वीडियो में. फॉर दोज हु हैव नॉट वॉच्ड, द लिंक इज गिवन इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन बिलो. So we would need to correct the data type while defining, keeping in mind about the kind of results we can expect. तो चलो अब हम int की बजाय long int ले लेते हैं. तब क्या results आएंगे? Let's see. हाँ, अब ठीक है. So guys, remember that it is very important to choose the data types keeping in mind the expected results. Similarly, you can also use these operators with float data type, but again keep in mind about the expected results. However, please note that modulus will not work while using float data types. Alright? अभी तक तो बच्चों वाले sum, division, multiplication टेस्ट कर रहे थे हम. What will happen if sum or all of them are used in a single equation? Let's modify our program to this where we take some constant values directly and apply multiple arithmetic operators. Here, 3 plus 4 multiply 15 divide 3 subtract 7 should give the result. If we were to give the result simply on calculating from left to right, that is first add 3 and 4, 7, then multiply it by 15, which is 105, then divide by 3, you get 35, and lastly subtract 7 from it, it will give us 28. But the output is 16. How's that? There's something called precedence. मैंने पहले भी नाम दिया था, चलो समझते हैं. वैसे broadly precedence का मतलब होता है priority. जैसे एयरप्लेन में बोर्डिंग किसकी पहले होगी, ये प्रेसिडेंस है.
We'd first like to invite any elderly passengers.
We now invite our One World Alliance members, Diamond Advantage partners.
All frequent fly girls, Airbuds.
First class, X-Men first class, and X-Men business class. We'll now begin boarding all parents traveling with small children.
And all children traveling with small parents.
Once again, all laptop users, please board now and begin working on those urgently...
I hate these precedences, but they are important in C. Higher precedence यानी first priority या preference किसको मिलती है, ये देखिए. Multiplication, division and modulus को. और lower precedence मिलती है plus and minus operators को. चलो ये तो समझ आ गया कि हमारे एग्जाम्पल इक्वेशन में 3 plus 4 होने से पहले 4 और 15 मल्टीप्लाई होंगे. बट सिंस 4 मल्टीप्लाई 15 और 15 डिवाइड 3 दोनों ही हैं और दोनों इक्वल हाई प्रेसिडेंस लेते हैं, तो कौन सा पहले ऑपरेट होगा? अब ये समस्या है. यानी पहले 4 मल्टीप्लाई 15 होगा और फिर डिवाइड 3 होगा, या पहले 15 डिवाइड 3 एंड देन मल्टीप्लाई 4 होगा. Here comes the concept of associativity, which says that if precedence is same, the operators are executed from left to right. So our equation will be calculated stepwise like this. In first step, since multiply and division have same precedence but higher than plus and minus, and it is governed by associativity principle to left to right, 4 gets multiplied by 15. And now 60 gets divided by 3. Again, since plus and minus have same precedence, 3 and 20 gets added first due to associativity and then 7 subtracted giving the result 16. अब आपको समझ में आ गया होगा कि प्रायोरिटी के हिसाब से ही करेक्ट रिजल्ट्स आते हैं. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम फ्लाइट बोर्डिंग के लिए परेशान ना हो और लाइन में लगें. वैसे भी हमें लाइनों में लगने की आदत तो है ही।
Just another brick in the wall. All in all, you're just another brick in the wall.
Anyways, while we have understood the concept of precedence and arithmetic operators, please note that both of the unary operators we had done earlier, plus plus and minus minus, have same precedence among each other. मतलब कोई बड़ा नहीं, कोई छोटा नहीं, but they have higher precedence than arithmetic operators. For example, if the equation was defined something like this in our program, जिसमें रिजल्ट होना है 3 plus 4 multiply 15 divide prefix incremented a and subtract postfix incremented b. Let's see the steps of calculation. As I told you, unary operators have higher precedence over arithmetic ones. In first step, the equation becomes this. Note that because b has a postfix increment, उसकी value original ही लेगा calculation में and increment करेगा only after the execution of statement. In next step, since multiply and division have same precedence but higher than plus and minus, and it is governed by associativity principle of left to right, 4 gets multiplied by 15 and now 60 gets divided by 20. Again, since plus and minus have same precedence, 3 and 3 gets added first due to associativity and then 6 subtracted, giving the result 0, and b is incremented. Hence this output. Clear? Okay, time to sum up what we have learned today. We have seen what operators are. Oh no, not again. So we have seen what operators are and how many types are there in C. We saw what unary operators and arithmetic operators are and what are the things important to remember in them. And finally, we saw how precedence and associativity dictates the execution. That will be all for today, and in our next session we will cover more of important operators. You can now go, count the stars and impress your friend. Bye bye.